Welcome back at this series about economic growth and human happiness. Last time we saw that countries like the US or China got considerably richer in the last decades, but nevertheless failed to increase the happiness of their people. Today we shall look at the reasons for this paradox, so let's begin. Did you ever stumble over an old tube TV and wonder how on earth you were ever able to enjoy watching television with such a goggle box? I remember switching from such a thing to a really huge flat TV and was so amazed. I thought, wow, this must change everything. Everything will be amazing from now on. But then after a while, I noticed, well, okay, it's not that different actually. Yeah, after a while it just felt normal. The interesting thing is that this is not only happening to stupid little boys, but to people in general. The phenomenon is called adaptation. It goes like this. After the purchase of a product or a salary rise, happiness jumps up for a little while, but then adaptation brings it down almost to the original level. Thus, adaptation is the first big reason for stagnant happiness. It pretty much ruins most of the positive impact that increased wealth would have otherwise. However, affluence still seems to bring some benefit to happiness. In most societies, rich people are somewhat happier than poor people. So could growth have a positive impact after all if it makes more people rich? Well, unfortunately no. Let me explain with an example. Say you have a nice house in some suburb and it's really quite comfortable and it's so much better than all the other houses around. You would be quite happy with that, wouldn't you? But how would it feel instead if all the other people would start building real mansions, like luxury buildings with like great furniture and everything inside? Suddenly you are pretty much at the bottom with your house. Would you still feel that same level of happiness? Maybe you're a stoic or mindfulness expert, but most people aren't. Hence, relative wealth, not absolute wealth, is driving individual happiness, and that's a tragedy. The richest 10% of the population are, by definition, just 10%. For every person who enters this group, another person has to leave. This can't be changed no matter how high the growth is. Thus, resources get wasted while people try to outshine another in a ridiculous arms race. Despite all this, total happiness stays the same, and this is the second reason for the Easterlin paradox. Yet another question is why growth can even harm happiness, like it was the case in China in the 1990s. This, according to Easterlin, is the result of the disruptions that were caused by economic reforms. China opened up its market and cut down state-owned companies. This led to unemployment, which is bad for some people, and it spread job insecurity, which affected the happiness of many more. Indeed, the fear of losing one's job can be detrimental to happiness, and with that, employment factors and other things are far more important for happiness than income. That is the third reason why economic growth doesn't make smiling people, and together with adaptation and the relative income story, it explains the paradox really well. Next time we will look at the impacts of the paradox, so see you soon.